Welcome back to another episode of The Canon. Today we'll be catching up on news from this week and last week. Alright, so first up, we have some new images from the Power Ranger movie that has yet to give us much. But now we got a look at the Zords. Every Power Ranger has a new poster with them atop their Zord. Sal, what do you think about these?
I like them. I like that they're not giving us too much. It's kind of been the reoccurring theme of this marketing for Power Rangers. I feel like we should have gotten some sort of trailer or something, but they're being very secretive with it, which is, you know, good, smart marketing because people are interested. If they would have given us something already, I might have not been as hyped about it, but I kind of am now just because of what they're doing. So I think it's smart. They look pretty cool so far. Not much else to say about them. Pretty excited to see the whole thing.
All right. Do you like the look of them? Do you think they're
pretty futuristic?
Yeah, updated.
They're definitely updated. Not so boxy as the ones that we saw in the '90s, which is, you know, obviously it's 20 years later almost. So I wouldn't expect anything less. But it seems like they're going in a totally different direction. They've said that before, so we can see it as evidence here with these pictures.
Yeah, I like them. I really like them. I like the Zords more than the way these Rangers look with their helmets off and stuff. But I think it kind of reminds me of Transformers. That's like the first thing.
Yeah.
Because we always, you know, the 90s was the 90s. And so when you saw the Zords, they were most likely some little models. They weren't real scale. And whenever the Power Rangers got in them, they like somehow jumped like 100 feet in the air. And you remember they always used to just jump and land inside of it. But anyway, so we never got to see the, you know, the scale next to a Ranger. And so they immediately put the Rangers on the Zords to show you just how big these things are. Not only are they on the Zords, they're only on one part of it.
Yeah.
And so we can't even make out the whole
They're
Zord.
as big as like one piece of the tail.
Right.
Or whatever it is.
So now this really shows you how big these things are. And it reminds me of like a bigger scale Transformer, which is a real popular franchise, and I like it. So
visually, it's very appealing.
Yeah, if you get Michael Bay in this bad one. No, I'm joking. But as far as the marketing, it's interesting. I don't know what to think about it because, like you said, it's been out for a while and we still haven't gotten much. And so we could say maybe they're teasing us, maybe, you know, it's different, or maybe we could say they're scared and maybe they're holding off because the footage isn't that good. Maybe. So you could take it one way or the other. But yeah, they are doing a slow market, and it's kind of refreshing because so many times recently we're just like, oh, they show too much. They give us we've seen the whole movie already. And so now we have somebody that's giving you a slow marketing campaign. Now we're like, we need more. We need to see more. So you can never satisfy us, but I think this is a smart way to do it. It is still about, I think it's 2018.
Is it 18?
Yeah, I believe it's 18.
Well, no, we haven't done it.
Yes,
I thought it was 17.
I might be wrong on that. I know it's March either way, but either way, you got time. So I think the slow market is kind of the smart play. All right, so last week at some point we had it confirmed that Mr. Sinister will be the main villain for Wolverine 3. Sal, what do you think about that news?
Well, we saw a very small teaser at the end of Apocalypse where his it was just somehow related. I forgot 100% how, but it was related to Mr. Sinister. So
it was the Essex Corp.
Yeah, Essex Corp. And so we kind of knew that he might be coming, but him to be for Wolverine 3, I think that's pretty big news. Visually, I think he's one of the more outstanding characters in X-Men. Basically in any comic book, to be honest. I think he stood the test of time. He scared me when I was little. I always thought he was like some sort of vampire thing. Yeah. So visually, it's going to be very interesting to see where they go. I feel like a lot of people might be upset if they go too much a different direction because he is, you know, people know his look, people know him. So that's going to be interesting. But him being, is he the main villain, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see where they take it. I'm not 100% sure on the old man Logan story. I know they're taking pieces of it only. But, so if he's in that, I'm not sure. But It's an exciting character that isn't really a main stake in the X-Men comic verse, so him kind of coming up and being the forefront of the villains in this movie is going to be exciting to see.
I'm mildly excited about it, just because we don't know the story, and of course we don't know the actor. That's going to probably be the biggest, selling point. But the Old Man Logan story, we know it's set in the future. It's right now, I don't see how he fits into that story because Mr. Sinister is typically portrayed being obsessed with the
genetics.
What is Summers, the Summer family?
Yeah.
So Scott Summers with Cyclops, Jean Grey, and then Cable eventually.
Cable.
So that's typically where we see it, and we know right now they're in the 80s or whatnot. So we don't know how far in the future this is, and why is he still around? Why is he now worried about Wolverine? So to me, if they change course where he's more like obsessed with Wolverine in the Mutant X project, which that end credit scene kind of sets up, that would be disappointing to me. Now, if they do it where he's still alive and they're kind of showing you the ramifications of what could happen if he gets his way with the Summer family, and then that way the next X-Men movie goes back to the past, and then you see Sinister again, and kind of how that plan unfolds. So if they do it that way, I'll be happy, but I don't know kind of where it fits right now.
Do you think that we're going to see a crossover with Cable in this movie possibly, or something of ramifications that affect Deadpool 2?
I'm so bad with dates. This is before Deadpool 2, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because they're already filming this. They haven't started filming Deadpool 2.
I would say no. I don't think they reveal Cable before Deadpool 2. If it was the other way around and this was after Deadpool, I think Deadpool 2 would have set something up for Cable to be in that movie. But I think the first time you see him is going to be, they might mention him, but I think the first time you see him is going to be in Deadpool 2.
What I think it might happen is that it's going to be far in the future. Well, we don't really know where Deadpool lies in the timeline, so I still think it's going to be past Deadpool 1, or at least past Deadpool 2, future-wise. And we might see a play, like you kind of going off what you said, we might see, well, it already happened, Wolverine 3 already happened, so now they have to deal with stopping what happens in that movie or something like that. So it kind of has an effect on the next X-Men movie, and it could have an effect on why Cable is with Deadpool now, why he came back to the past. So I think it will have some relation. I don't think he'll be in Wolverine 3, Cable, but I think the story will have an effect on why he's coming back in Deadpool 2.
And that wouldn't be a bad way to do it now that I'm thinking about it, because the next one's Wolverine 3. You kind of set up what's the future issue, whatever, for lack of a better term, and then the next one's kind of show you how that kind of falls out. So then you see Cable comes back, however way he ends up with Deadpool, and then he's still going back further, and that's when you get to the X-Men movie. And then because now you don't really have a big villain, so I think Sinister and Essex Corp could really play that main villain for another trilogy, really, if you wanted to.
Yeah, and it's more of a kind of like a time is our enemy thing more than this person is our enemy thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like any time movie. It's like Back to the Future or anything, like Cable's in the past and trying to, prevent something. So I don't know, maybe by the third movie, Cable finally meets up with Cyclops and them, and then whatever they got to do to send Cable back to the future so he could, stop Sinister. I don't know. We're completely speculating, but I think that's the only way it would make sense to me and give you reasons to have movies for the next how many years. So, but we don't know what Fox is doing over there. All right, so next up, shortly after we recorded last week's episode, Commissioner Gordon image was put online by Zack Snyder. We knew that J.K. Simmons had a short time on set filming for Justice League, and Snyder wanted to share this on Batman Day by sharing a picture of not Batman. But anyway, Commissioner Gordon Sal, what'd you think of that first image?
It was pretty, again, cryptic, but said a lot as well, because we already knew the whole scene where they're on the rooftop with each other. So it wasn't so much as, I mean, it wouldn't even been a surprise, like it wasn't revealing anything, but just showing that Gordon still has a hand in the story. Important character. I want to see J.K. Simmons up close. I want to know if he has hair. Maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. So that'd be interesting to see. But it was still a cool picture to me. I liked it. It goes back to the Batman of old, kind of getting back to basics with the signal on top of GCPD. So yeah, I liked it. Kind of took you back a little bit.
I think visually it was stunning, and that is Zack Snyder in a nutshell. He has a way with visuals.
Yeah.
Just everything, the rain, the water, the rooftop, the way he's just looking out to the sky is beautiful. You don't really see much of JK that well, but one thing I took from it, at least the way I'm interpreting it, is that he is still commissioner. Because a while back, it was said that in this version, Commissioner Gordon's already retired.
Okay.
Because Batman's been around so long. So I remember we heard that before, but it looks like they kind of changed that. It looks like he's an active commissioner. He's got the files and the trench coat going. Now he could be retired and just use one of his connections to get whatever files he's getting.
Yeah.
But I tend to think he is actually still commissioner. So that's kind of news to me.
Yeah.
You excited for his
Yeah,
part?
I love him. I have all the hope in the world for this character, however small his part may be.
It's gonna be tough following up Gary Oldman, but I think he's the right man for the job. Speaking of the right man for the job, and speaking of Power Rangers, Alpha 5 has been cast. Bill Hader, the Saturday Night Live standout, recently in Trainwreck, recently in Skeleton Twins. He is now cast as Alpha. We don't know if it's a voice, we don't know if it's mocap or what it is, but he is our Alpha. Sal, what do you think about that?
I'm not a huge follower of Bill Hader, but Alpha 5 is a special character, so I think he can, step up to the plate of what I have seen by him. He's a character, Bill Hader is, so I think he'll do fine. Again, we don't know if he's going to be in a suit. We don't know if he's just going to be the voice, whatever it's going to be. But what do you think they might go with?
I really don't know, because Bill Hader is a man of many talents. Also forgot he did the voice in Inside Out. He also did the voice of BB-8 for Star Wars Force Awakens. So with his recent track record, I might have to think it's just going to be voice. But I think he has the chops. It depends on what they're doing with Alpha, because everything else is updated in this movie.
He might be a hologram. Or
yeah, because you got friggin' what's Cranston's first name?
What? Bryan Cranston?
Brian. Yeah, you got friggin' Bryan Cranston as Zordon. So everything seems to be a little more serious. Yeah. Because, if you've never seen Alpha from the original, you need to watch it. He's just running around like so weird. And he could do that because he's kind of an impersonator. Yeah. And Bill Hader has voice talent. But at the same time, they could update it where it's just more of a AI, or he might be an AI. Maybe they use his real presence. I don't know. So with Hader, he's done drama, he's done comedy, he's got voice talent, so he could do either way. Yeah. Which way would you think would be best?
I don't know.
I'm thinking voice.
You think just voice? So I wouldn't like someone to be inside a suit that's not Bill Hader, and then Bill Hader just voiceover. So I'm thinking more of I wouldn't mind CGI. Like a BB-8 type CGI where there is practicality in the character on set, but it's mostly CGI. So yeah, I think it's kind of like a mix between the two.
All right.
Do you want him to change up the look at all? If it was like a physical thing?
It has to be, because you remember how he looked? He had like that disc head. It was like that is what I'm really curious about. I think the Power Rangers as a whole is all about the visual. All we want to know, what do the suits look like? What do the Zords look like? What is Zordon gonna look like? Like, what does Rita Repulsa look like? And if that's any indication, Rita Repulsa from the movie and the TV show is drastically different. So I have to imagine Alpha 5 is going to look nothing like he did in the TV show, which, you know, gives you leeway to have Bill Hader in his physical form on set. So yeah, you got to change it. That just looks too goofy, too 90s. All right, so our last bit of news. Last week also, it was reported that Stanley sold the rights to his a biography of his movie, and I do not remember which studio is producing that. However, it is said that the movie is not going to be a typical biopic. It's going to be an action adventure biopic.
I feel like that's the only way they can kind of tell his story, is like in an action adventure kind of thing. I'm thinking, my first thought of it was like some sort of Indiana Jones-esque movie. He's
an adventurer.
Yeah, like an adventurer, traveler, heavy CGI. But yeah, I don't know what studio it is. I haven't read up on that either. But that's interesting. I mean, like I said, that's the only way you can kind of tell his story, is make it grander and bigger than a regular human story would be. So yeah, that's interesting. It's going to be funny to see who they cast as him. Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. I mean, whether you're a Marvel or DC fan, I think everybody that's appreciate these properties knows Stan Lee. He's just like the most famous superhero name out there, and mainly because he's still alive. So
yeah,
and you see him in all the movies now, of course. But I'm excited. It's just, at first, the very first time I heard it, I was like, what? Like, how do you make an action adventure out of a comic book writer? And then a lot of people are speculating like it's going to be like this total twist where he basically writes comics based off real life missions that he took a part of.
Okay.
Like they were saying like S.H.I.E.L.D. was an actual agency he was a part of, and like they were saying like they knew this really big guy that he once fought, so they called him the Hulk, and he like made that a character.
Once he got bitten by a radioactive spider.
But I would love that. I would absolutely love a hilariously dumb movies like that where it's just like, oh, all the stuff I wrote about happened to me. So, and you know Stan Lee's gonna be in it.
Oh yeah, he's gonna say what kind of cameo
he's gonna cameo. A lot of people want Bryan Cranston to play Stan Lee, and
it wouldn't be bad.
And
we didn't mention too, Bryan Cranston, doesn't he want to play Mr. Sinister?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought somebody said they wanted him
to
play.
Yeah.
Or maybe he does.
But anyways, yeah, Bryan Cranston,
he's all over the place. But definitely, I think this movie could be like a big hit.
Yeah.
I know it's not Disney or Warner Brothers, so I can't remember which studio's doing it. So it's not gonna be
Universal.
It's not gonna fall into that Marvel versus DC war. Not the war proper.
Yeah.
Still a Marvel movie, but it won't be part of Disney. So I think it's gonna find a nice little audience of people that just appreciate it. But yeah, I think they're gonna really make this a fun one.
That should be interesting to see.
All right, so that is it for the week. I do want to remind you guys though that if you share this video
or retweet,
if you share it on Facebook, if you retweet it on Twitter, this video or any previous video, you will be entered for a chance to win a free copy of Captain America Civil War Blu-ray.
You have until October 1st. You have until October 1st to do that. So share it, retweet it. This video, last week's video. Yeah, any of the news ones you want to say, right?
Any video.
Yeah, okay, well, any video.
Any video.
Any video. All right, go back into our library, search it, share it, and have a chance to win. So, yeah.
All right, so Sal, where can the people find us?
On Twitter at The Canon Vlog, or on Facebook, facebook.com/TheCanon.
And remember, if you heard it here, it's Canon.